This weekend it is NXT Halloween Havoc, and as always we have to do a predictions video for it. Last time we had an NXT show, it was No Mercy, and I did really well. Sol Ruka faced Jada Parka in the end, not Laney Reed, so we're calling that as a null void. Javon Evans did beat Josh Briggs, Jordan Grace did beat Blake Monroe, Ethan Page retained his North American Championship, Jayne retained her Women's Championship. The only one we got wrong, Ricky Saints became the new NXT champion. Now, with Halloween Havoc, we have a grand total of six matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. We'll start off with the tag match of Parka and Mr. Iguana versus Leon Slater and Javon Evans. I think this is a tap-in. I think it's going to be Slater and Evans. Why? I just think they're pushing Evans as the main guy. Well, not the main guy in NXT, but one of the up-and-comers and one of the ones that's going to become the main man in NXT. And I think that Parka and Mr. Wagner are basically there to not give a shout out, but kind of put eyes on AAA. Obviously, Leon Slater's there for TNA side of things, and obviously they had the feud at Bound for Glory, was it? So, yeah, I'm going to go with Slater and Evans for that one. Next, for the Women's North American Championship. Now, this is a bit weird because Zaria is facing Blake Monroe. Zaria is in the match on behalf of Sol Ruka. So if Zaria wins, does Sol Ruka keep the title? I'm guessing the injury isn't as bad as it first thought. Either way, I think it's going to be Blake Monroe. She needs a bit more of a catch up on the momentum. Maybe the start of the breakup of Zaria and Sol Ruka might start with this. It all makes sense. I think that Blake Monroe can then move on with the North American Championship and we go on from there. I just think that I don't see, because it's a last minute switch, it makes more sense for Blake Monroe to win the match, to be honest. So I'm going to go Blake Monroe. Next, for the North American Championship, the Men's North American Championship, Ethan Page defending against Dr. Wagner Jr. Now, this is a Day of the Dead match, which plays into the hands of Wagner. However, I think I'm going to go with Ethan Page. I like what Ethan Page is doing with the title. I don't like the title look, but I like what he's doing with the title. He's defending against everybody. Saw him on NXT this week with the face paint and everything. I'm liking what Ethan Page is doing, and I would not take the belt off him at this moment in time. So we're going to stick with Ethan Page. Next, for the, I believe, just the NXT tag team titles, it is the Hardy Boyz versus DarkState. Now, this has been classed as a broken rules match, which is that a DQ match? Which basically means that all 4 members of DarkState surely can get involved. So I'm going to go DarkState, especially if it is just the NXT titles that are on the line. I think it will be a short run for the Hardy Boyz in NXT. This makes sense to give them the belts back onto DarkState. Obviously, they've had their run as NXT tag champions. They've now won every title that WWE has had to offer as tag champions. So let's give it back to the actual NXT team, or group in a sense. So I'm going to go DarkState, just due to the fact that if it is no rules or no DQ, they can all get involved. So it makes sense because it's going to be 4-2 by the end of it. Next, for the NXT Women's Championship, Jayne versus Tatum Paxley. I think that Jayne wins this. A number of things are making me think this. The fact that Fatal Influence are now back to a 3 with Laney Reed joining them. The fact that Tatum Paxley kind of screwed over Izzy Dame a little bit. So maybe that could come back to bite her. I think everything that's happened storyline-wise has built up to Jayne retaining this, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way. However, for me, the whole storyline leans towards Jayne retaining. So we're going to go with Jayne. And finally, the main event, the NXT champion, Ricky Saints, taking on Trick Williams. Is this Trick's swan song? Because I don't see Ricky Saints losing this title so early. I love Trick. I think what he's doing at the moment with his heel run is fantastic. I'd love to see him on the main roster with it, see what he does with it, although it might end up going badly if he goes up there. But I do think that it is now a point where what is there left to do for Trick in NXT? We are now at that point. I think that Ricky will retain the title and it'll send Trick Williams off to the main roster. So we're going to go Ricky Saints for that one. So that is it, guys, for this week's, well, week on week of the month for predictions for the Halloween Havoc predictions. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. Let me know your thoughts on the Halloween Havoc matches, who you think will win each match. And like this video if you have. Subscribe if you are new. Until next time, guys. Take care.